Not as strong as
You can never really be sure of that one.
first is the best. All right, good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Get in the Garage.
We're a music podcast.
For music lovers, we've got a great show planned for you today, but before we begin, please remember to like and comment and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell to let you know when our new episodes drop. Today, we bring you, from the band Slyne and the Family Stoned, Mike, Tim, and Kevin. They're here to talk about their new album, Is Heaven Sweet? Drops May 6th, along with a album release show that'll be on May 6th as well.
Yep.
At Warehouse 3 in New London.
You got it.
Warehouse
3. That's exactly it.
Do we have an address for that?
Ooh.
If you Google Warehouse 3, New London, Connecticut, it comes up as a Google location.
Yeah.
So
So
Does
you'll
it
find
really?
It's
Does
tucked
it
in the back.
really?
yeah, absolutely does.
I
That's
did
how we
not know
found it the
that.
first
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Wow.
tucked back a little bit near the police station,
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
some cops around.
Yeah,
And
there's
the
some cops
motocross,
Very safe. Safe venue.
If
Yeah,
you
but
see
it's a
a
great venue.
giant limo, you're at the right place.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke.
Yeah,
Stay away from Gus. And stay away from Gus.
Yes, stay away
It's
from
not
Gus.
exactly
Away
the
from Gus.
nicest.
Park on
I've
the
only-
street.
I only
Yeah,
had one
park in the
experience with
street.
Gus, and I was like, my God, this man is very intense.
What
Gus
happened?
tried to kill me.
Did he? He's the tow truck guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting guy, that Gus.
The
The story just gets more and more.
He threw a fucking oil pan at me.
An oil, but like from the bottom, of, like off of a car.
Yeah, like what you catch the no, there's
Oh,
stuff that it drains into you.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was there was a parking issue, and I walked out there and I said, "Hey, man, what's the issue?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Whose car is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just one of ours." And he's like, started yelling. And I said, "Hey, you don't gotta be a dick, man." And his veins popped out.
Oh, the famous last words.
And,
dick.
I could see his big whoop. Anyway, I could see his fucking blood pressure going,
Yeah.
eyes bulging, neck veins popping, throwing this oil pan at me. And I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Gus, take it easy, man.
He's been
Yeah.
out. Yeah, he's been out for blood ever since. But it's a fun place.
It's a
And
good
you should come by. Check the show out.
Selling it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Selling it.
Once you're inside, man,
Yeah.
paradise.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good time,
it
man.
is,
We
yeah.
came. I think the first time we saw you guys there was the Halloween show.
Oh, wild, yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
fun one.
that was a good
Yeah.
time, man. That was a
Damn.
great time.
Yeah.
This
um,
past Halloween one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first
No
time we saw
kidding,
you was
really?
at the Oasis when it
Yes.
was just you two on guitar.
Right. Yeah. Cam wasn't.
Cam was.
Yeah, Cam
wasn't
wasn't there.
rejoined or.
No, he
think he
was
just wasn't
rejoined. I
there.
think he wasn't around.
Yeah, he was
He was
supposed
in
to
LA?
have
on
a show.
vacation or something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was in LA.
So yeah, we saw you guys there. Yeah, and then.
Oh,
the Halloween
also
show
shout out
happened.
to Cam and Lee.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they
Who
couldn't
can't
make it
be
tonight.
here.
Yes, who couldn't make it tonight.
I think that was the show we decided we can't play shows without Cam.
That was the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Oasis,
Yeah.
where we were like, which is so funny because I've always been in bands with 2 guitars and thought it was phenomenal.
Mhm.
And then getting 3 guitars and missing one of them, I was like,
We were like, this doesn't work.
my brain is melting right now.
Yeah, it's like
dude.
once you
Yeah.
have it
I
and then
can't
lose
do
it,
this.
you know, it,
Yeah.
it messes with you.
So that kind of brings me to the question too. So we saw you guys. That was like in August of last year. When did you guys start forming this lineup, 3-guitar lineup
Ooh.
of Family
This
Stone?
is kind of the post-COVID
Yeah.
arrangement.
February, March.
Yeah.
Whatever.
21.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit before that. Maybe end of 2020.
Right. I
Probably-
don't even remember.
'Cause
Probably
I moved back from New York City November 2020,
Yeah.
and then it was pretty short after that.
It was probably towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Of that year, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we started practicing playing together around December
But
2020.
but
Fudd
right-
was going to come in on keyboards. That was the.
Oh yeah.
First plan.
That was the
and then-
plan.
Yeah, and that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I even knew that plan.
I think it's just me and Fudd talked about it.
Yeah, we just talked about it, and then I showed up with a guitar instead. I was like, I know this thing a little bit better.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, this was the first. That iteration came together. Yeah, first times like after the big break. You know,
Yeah.
this kind of came together and has stayed together since then.
Yeah.
It's been the same 5 guys.
So before that, then, because I've seen, like, say on Spotify, there
Yeah.
is like the Family Stoned releases
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah.
Like
Tons of them.
Was that like were you involved at within any of those, or Kevin or anybody else,
No.
like Cam or Lee or anything like that, or was that just like completely different lineups? Or
You want to explain all that?
Yeah, I think you're the best person to explain.
if it's a long story, it's cool.
not.
Like,
No, we can do it totally. In a quick way. Lee was sort of like, I'm gonna like really pump his ego right now, but he was like George Martin for us. He was always recording and telling us that our takes were terrible and to do them again and
yeah.
Fixing things on the
fix it,
in post.
Lee Magic,
Yeah.
And then post COVID, we were going through a little bit of a shift, and Lee filled in on bass for some reason, and then kind of just stuck around. I didn't expect him to, because he told me he never wanted to play music ever again.
Interesting.
But he's here now. Tim. But Lee also played on a bunch of those recordings, like secretly. He would we would show up and there would be this guitar part, and I'd be like, I didn't play that. And he's like, yeah.
So you just pepper
Or
in a
there'd be
little bit.
there'd be a vocal line or something, and so Lee was like the recording guy for us for a long time, and somewhat guest. Tim came in before COVID, also just sort of to fill in for some gig, and never left.
Yeah.
I think we tapped you to do a couple drum tracks on Distance Is Real.
Yep. Or Lucy and the Sewer Dogs, one of those two.
I think Distance Is Real first, though.
Yeah.
And then Lucy in the Sewer with Dogs, you played drums on some of it, and Arsenal played drums on some of it.
And at that point, that was kind of when I started doing most of the live gigs.
Yes.
So even though you and Arsenal would be
Recording.
covering everything in the recordings,
Yeah.
when you went to do the live stuff, Arsenal was playing bass.
Yes.
And I would play drums.
Yes.
And that's since probably 2018-ish.
That was a long time. That was a long time.
17, 18.
And there's been so many people, like the name family is super significant with our band, because it's not so much lately that it's been more solidified, but it would be like someone would ask me to play the show, and I would be like, this guy knows how to play it, this guy knows how to play it, this guy sort of knows how to play it.
Yeah.
We would figure
got
out
a band.
we'd figure out a set for whoever was available.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there's been a lot of people in and out, and it's all been special lineups, and I think that the lineup that we have now is like a combination of all the different changes that it's just come to a head now.
Yeah.
As to what it is, and I'm like very excited about that.
Yeah, I think it's cool too, because I kind of feel like, so knowing that story.
Yeah. Me and Fudd used to be in like a stoner metal.
Oh, I think you had mentioned that at one
Snow
point.
Orphan.
I think in
Snow Orphan.
conversation.
Yeah, a long
for a
time
few
ago.
years.
Yeah.
We only wrote 6 songs.
Yeah.
That's kind of how stoner metal goes. You kind of
Yeah.
you're like I got 6 really good ones, and you're like, I boxed myself in.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a set.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun note that we were sharing practice spaces at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
I was playing with a different band,
Oh, okay.
the Weird Beards at the time, and I used to be there when they were practicing, like working out stuff, and I can remember at that time being like, man, it would be so fun to play drums with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had a full band, and I had another band was doing plenty of stuff.
Yeah.
And then
That was really
when you just showed up again,
Right.
in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
it didn't even occur to me at first. But then, probably a few practices and a couple shows down, I was like, wait a second, this is like Snow Orphan 2 in a
yeah, kind of.
in a
Yeah.
sort of
it's
way.
yeah,
It's different,
getting
but
well, yeah, it's getting heavier than what Family Stone was, but it's not as heavy as where Snow Orphan was. But I'm enjoying this, I think, a lot better. It just seems more
this
focused.
has been great.
Yeah.
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 So you guys have come together. You built the set. Have you guys this album set was kind of been written since, would you say, the beginning of this year? And then further, kind of second question to that is, do you guys kind of or do you see this as the band's first record, kind of, since you have released stuff in the past, or do you think that this is a culmination of everything you guys have done, building to this
Wow,
moment
that's
now of who you are? Because it's a question that we had kind of seen you guys is
Yeah.
this the more of your debut kind of statement, or do you think this is just a continuation of
No, I don't think
what
it's
it
a
has
debut.
been?
I don't think it's a debut. I think it's just what it is now. I don't, because everything leading up to it has just been the same train.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think it's a debut. I think it's like it is the first proper record that the Family Stoned as a organization or whatever has done, so that there is something like that.
Right.
You know, because we've always just like put tapes out or CDs or like, hey, we got 10 of these tapes.
Yeah,
know,
right.
like,
Something drops on Bandcamp or something
yeah,
like
right.
that. Yeah,
Or like, I remember the Distance Is Real CD. The release for that was so crazy. It was just, I had made like 7 of them and I gave them away for free. And I was like squatting in this art space at the time, and I just hung them from string in the doorway and said, hey, there's free CDs here. And we had a party in the parking lot right across the street, and my amplifier was just like blasting a drone
nice
out the window, flooding the streets of New London, you know?
Yeah.
But so we've just like done little things, but this is the biggest thing the Fam Stoned has done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So knowing, you know, the story of the fam and the significance of the idea of what the Family Stoned is, that sort of encompassing sort of thing. I think it's interesting because you had said, you know, it was made of many parts. Now it's this more solidified thing. But now it seems, at least from our experience of seeing you guys live, that the Family Stoned has become this sort of extensive thing that is now inclusive of the people who enjoy your music. Because I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Even as like, you know, people, you know, like me and Luke, who, you know, we kind of on a whim came out and saw you. I mean, your name was one that I had heard every now and then, you know what I mean, in relation to the New London music scene and stuff. But I mean, we felt very much welcomed in the scene, and like by all you guys, and you know what I mean. You're all very kind to us and very inviting and all that stuff.
Hell yeah. I hope we're always like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we've always been like that.
I think so too.
Between the three of
I think-
us, even though like, sometimes it can be intimidating.
I
some of the
definitely
stuff
think it
that
can be
happens.
intimidating.
But I think you're pretty open-hearted.
Yeah.
Can bend your ear also on that way.
Yeah.
Also, you're that way. I think every show we've had, which has ultimately become a party, it's always been like pretty welcoming and keeping it open for people to.
This
come
is
join
the
us.
thing that I admire about like the Grateful Dead or something.
Right.
It's like there's the core band,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a huge thing around them.
Right.
That is also like I hear interviews with like roadies or something, and they talk about when we were like they're part of the band.
Right. Yeah.
You know, when they weren't on stage playing instruments. But it extends so far out. Really, like all of our partners help us do stuff for the record. Emily took this photo.
Yeah.
Maria, you know, made it into record things. So everybody helps out, and that's like that does extend to like this family idea. And then when you like people like you guys come around or some of the other homies, it really does sort of feel like these are the people that I want around.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and this
Sure.
is
Right.
sometimes why I think I do it, to just meet like-minded cool heads that want to fucking have a good time listening to music. You know?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Great.
And that's how it feels. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, making the music helps make the family happen. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and it seems like there's like the New London music scene, you know, I mean, I've got hazy sort of memories of like the LNG and
Tell me about it.
you know, and you know, but I mean, the last big music scene I think that like Luke and I say we're a part of was sort of like that CT hardcore metalcore, say
Yeah.
pop punky kind of
Sure.
Yeah.
thing.
What year was that, do you think?
For us, it was probably like 2005, 6 till
Yeah.
about maybe like 2000.
Did you ever go to the GFB house?
9, 10? Oh, where was
Oh,
that?
Taffville.
No.
No.
GFB house?
Get fucking bent. You went?
Oh wait, you're talking about If I Had Eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's Fudd's brother. Was the
Yeah.
drummer.
He
in
was
that
also-
band.
Oh
He was
no
also in
shit. Okay,
Snow
so it all
Orphan
makes
band
sense.
with us.
Small world.
He was also
Yeah, it's
he
fine.
is also an honorary member of the Fam Stoned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we were kind of gonna like, I wanted to, because that was like my first show was a If I Had Eyes show at the
Wow.
Jewett City.
Yeah, at the
VFW.
gazebo in Jewett City.
No.
man.
Oh, Gazebo Fest.
No, it was a VFW show in
Oh,
South
okay.
Main.
I was Gazebo. He was VFW.
okay.
Either way, so like that was our like. I saw that and I was like, "This is what I want to be a part of."
Right.
Like,
Oh.
instantly, you knew it.
Sure, yeah.
So it might sound like that might have been the band or some of the bands we wanted to ask you that got you into like a music scene. The music scene started to play out.
Like local
Ooh.
bands.
Yeah, like what? Do you feel like like you were ushered in? Who ushered you in originally?
Oh
like, what
man.
was,
Well, I mean, I was
what was the
13,
core?
14. I think I was 14 when I played my first show, and that was at the Pogo in Norwich. And
Oh, the Pogo in
Yeah.
Norwich.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
that was just I don't even remember who we knew. I think it was just kids from school, and
Stab
then
you
you
in the
got
head and
there,
eat your
and
face
then
off.
It was like teenage mayhem there.
Total
where
teenage mayhem.
People were getting drunk, doing drugs in the parking
That was
lot.
the first place I ever laid eyes on Cassandra. In real life.
Nice.
In real
Hell
life.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that place was sweet. My gosh, there was just that was chaos over there
Yeah.
for teenagers. I mean, people getting thrown downstairs. Seen probably the most fights I'd ever seen in my life
yeah.
there. But I mean, I saw a lot of music
Yeah.
there, and there were a lot of people that were older, just by a few years than
Sure.
us, that were like really getting a scene going around the area, which
Yeah.
opened it up from pretty much there.
I played there a few times. I went to high school in a very different part of the state up north. And so I wasn't really involved with like the southeast punk thing until I moved back to New London. But we would come down and play the Pogo and play
Right.
with like Dressed in You
Yeah.
and One If by Land, Two If by Sea.
Yeah.
When were you playing gigs? When did you start playing gigs?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Young. High school.
Yeah.
Maybe even before. And like, shitty riff metal bands.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then the all day shows.
You're talking my language, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
that was all.
But
I
I
could
will
do.
say, when I moved back to New London, I was like leaving this sort of like crusty punk thing. I was living in Hartford, and there was like the Whitney House, and there was like, that was like the place for that kind of stuff. All sorts of bands came through there, but I had like kind of like, don't get me wrong, I still love punk rock, and I identify as a punk rocker. Okay. But I was exploring different kinds of music, and I moved back to New London, and there was just a crazy amount of music happening.
Yeah.
I was so surprised that you could go to LNG, and then you could go to the Oasis, and then you could go to this gallery, and then you could go to like the Brass Rail or something, all in the same night.
Yeah.
Right.
And there would be great music, And when I first came back, I'll say that the Fatal Film guys were the first guys to be like, hey, I think you got something cool going on. Why don't you come play a show? And I think my first show back in town was at I always get them, the Roadhouse? No.
Bank Street Roadhouse?
Yeah. Bank Street Cafe.
Bank Street Cafe, yeah.
Yeah, that was with Fatal Film. And that was a band called Bear Claw with,
Wow.
we only played 2 shows, but
Who was in that?
Kevin Kelly
Okay.
and Anchors, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's also another wave of, like, perfect timing of, like, another older generation. Because they were a bit older
Totally.
than you. And, I mean, those guys were, like, some of the first people that ushered me into New London.
Totally. Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, you guys have something cool going on with your band.
Right.
Come check this out. And that opened up another
Right.
chaotic scene. That
totally
was great.
total chaos.
Yeah.
Those guys were the guys, though. Those guys in like the Total Bolsheviks
Yeah.
were really like vital in introducing me and like taking me for the ride that I'm on that I haven't gotten off yet.
Yeah.
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 So.
And now we're the old people, hopefully.
Yeah.
Not hopefully.
I mean,
But we're not.
I mean, hopefully
It is.
ushering
Well,
younger guys
And there's
in.
still tons
Yeah.
of bands in town that are older than us. And
No, I mean,
still
but
doing
I'm
their thing.
taking people under a wing, I guess, or something like
Sure.
that. Or
Yeah,
ushering.
right. The mentors, the
Yeah,
role
exactly,
models, that
exactly,
idea.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. Tim, where'd you so how did you get into
Well, I guess I would have come back. I grew up in Groton, so I was right across the river from New London, but I like missed any kind of like like music stuff when I was younger for whatever reason. Like New London seemed like the scary city across the river that like someone got killed at one time, you know?
Yeah, right.
It was.
We don't go there, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went to college. I was up in Willimantic for a bunch of years, and then I was like kind of playing music and stuff up there in college with my friends, and you know, we always had a house with drums and guitars, and we were just jamming. And then my last like big house that I lived with, like, you know, 9 other people in, my roommate there moved to New London.
What was that called?
Jay Silva. We called it the Mud Shark Mansion.
Yeah.
Was the big house. And Jay Silva moved down to New London, and he started meeting people in bands, and he ended up playing with Brian Skidmore and the Weird Beards, and they just at the time they were an acoustic band, and they decided they wanted a drummer. They invited me to come down and play drums, and that's kind of how I got back in the area.
Nice.
And into New London.
So the 3 of us were all in different bands and didn't know each other at the same time getting into New London.
Yes. Right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the planets kind of aligned.
Yeah,
and then
I
it
would
just
say
kind
so.
of
Yeah.
happened.
And then, I mean, we've played with different people
Yeah.
all throughout the years. We had another band called
Yeah.
the Diamond Twins
Yeah,
for
which
like a
is a-
year.
Nice.
60s surf rock inspired into
Yeah,
okay.
surf rock,
Indo surf,
rockabilly
yeah,
kind
sort
of
stuff,
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was fun.
loved it.
So we wanted to ask you guys
Yep.
some like gear-headed questions. Seeing
For the
that
for the gearheads, we
Sure.
gotta do
Great.
it for the gearheads
if
and for the
you-
drummers too, though, because we can't forget our drummers.
if you ever see the band, it is a like masterful pedal board, you know,
A
buffet in
collage.
front
Buffet,
of you.
Yeah, buffet's the best way of putting it.
So
Pedal buffet.
you know, I thought we'd pass it over to Mike to ask you guys some questions, but
Sure.
like, what maybe like let's start with like favorite pedals like that you guys are going
Yeah.
for, or like if you guys don't want to reveal that, maybe some of the sounds that you guys like or love or you know are using currently.
Yeah,
Delay pedals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't have enough of them.
They're so good, aren't they?
I think I have 3
Yeah.
or maybe even 4 on there right now.
Yeah.
And I probably couldn't do it. I could do it, but it'd be boring without delay pedals.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I wasn't a pedal guy for a really long time.
Yeah.
Really long time.
Same here, man. I was like meat potatoes.
Yep.
You know.
I mean, I had like a volume pedal, the amp distortion,
Yeah.
a tuner, and maybe 1 delay pedal. But
Yeah.
I don't even think there was a delay pedal, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, delay pedals, specifically reverse delay.
Yeah.
Loopers.
Yeah.
Loopers are vital.
Yeah.
And loopers are just a great tool to learn how to play guitar,
For sure.
you know.
Oh yeah.
But we like use loops in very strange ways. And I would say that my most contentious relationship is distortion
nice.
pedals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I can't
Yeah.
find one that is.
Yeah. Like in what way? Like you have a hard time finding one that really just like hits the mark for you, or yeah.
I mean, I've had a Rat, I've had a Big Muff,
Yeah.
I've had them all, man.
Yeah.
And
Tube screamers.
I got a Tube Screamer.
Yeah.
And I just can't find it. I can't. It's just not there.
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing though. I mean, as guitar players, really, you know, the best distortion is just a cranked clean sound. So, like
Love it.
unmercifully cranked clean
Yeah,
sound, where
yeah,
like
yeah.
window
Sure.
shattering.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You know, they get all that breakup, all that stuff.
Oh,
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But I
the-
hear it. You
the
know,
best you're gonna get is out of an amp, and I think he got spoiled when you had the 6505 or
Yes.
5150. I
I
can't
did.
remember, but that thing sounded incredible.
Yeah.
And that's what he used in Snow Orphan.
Yeah. And I can't match that. I've been trying.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's super hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because those are really hot amps too.
Yeah.
Crazy hot amps.
Yeah.
A high gain.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
And like I probably wouldn't use it as high gain as it could go in the band now.
Yeah.
You know, but still it was creamy and crunchy, and
Yeah.
you'd hit a chord and it would like make you crazy.
Yeah, right. Oh, I know. Every once in a while, man, it's like you plug into an amp and it's just there. Your ear hears it and it goes, "Oh no, that's the one."
Yep.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, the endless quest for tone, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Other question too is
Sure.
I noticed you are like a Fender / I think you have like a custom kind of SG.
Oh, that's an old Ampeg SG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is a preference the Fender, or is it just kind of whatever is more like you're just into that day, or you know?
It's almost by room.
Yeah. Sometimes like the blue Fender is the one. Pretty much always go back to that. I've bought in like probably 4 or 5 guitars since I bought that one, and they come in the rotation and last a couple shows.
Yeah.
And then I always just the Fender
Yeah.
is where it's at for me. I do like that Ampeg though, and I play that when I play a solo for some reason more. I think it's weird. The thing that's weird about it is the Fender feels really loose and like psychedelic sort of when I'm playing it, and it works really good in the band. But the Ampeg feels very stiff, and I feel like I have more control in articulation.
Sure.
But I think that's just because I'm alone and I'm tricking myself into that.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
But I feel like I can really grab chords a lot better on the SG thing.
Yeah.
Not that I can grab them better, but it feels more firm.
Right.
I always feel like whenever I play like a Fender, it's like the chords always do feel looser.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah, it's
on
like
the- on the
slankier.
Gibson,
It's
yeah, it's
Yeah.
always slankier. They're like Gibson. I know what you're saying. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a hold of this. It's not gonna
Yes,
fall
yeah.
out of my
Right.
hand.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, because you're
I've never heard it put like that, man. That was the most
Yeah.
perfect way I've
Yeah,
ever put
right
it.
on.
That's always my deal with why I'm like I don't really like Strats that much.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
lanky to me.
Right.
Well, and you rock the telly.
I
Is
rock
that-
the telly,
Is
yes.
that too? You got is it the lipstick in the neck? And
No,
then,
no. That has
I'm trying to
two.
remember.
That has 2 Gibson 83 humbuckers in it
Oh,
from
right.
an SG. It was a fire branded SG that I played in Snorf that I hucked over a fence and almost hit a cop car with. As
Oh,
it was
I heard
rolling
that
up.
story.
Yeah. So went back.
I've heard.
So I went back
Jay
and
Curlin told me that story.
we took the humbuckers out of that Telecaster I bought in 2009, and it was just kind of sitting around, and I needed something to play because we were playing a lot at that point, really.
Yes.
And I had no money,
Yes.
and I was living at the practice space.
Right.
I was living at the orphanage, and we put that together.
You put that Bigsby on there too.
And that was later,
So
but
sweet.
Yeah.
yeah, and I enjoy it, but it does not feel like a Fender anymore at all. It's so tight. I'm ready for something new though. It's been
Yeah.
15 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially it's left-handed, but I play upside down because I learned on a right-handed guitar playing left-handed, and it's just like it's on its way out. There's just like certain things on it that are so old and
Sure.
rusted and like just
It's
not
also
coming
been
back.
like all of our gear is abused badly.
Yeah.
Right.
Like going back to the pedals, what I was gonna say is I just got rid of the Pog 2 because
Yeah.
we played a show. This was years ago, and I just figured this out now. There's like a huge tone drop in it because of how much beer has been poured on it and how many. I mean, like we played a show where like the crowd stepped on the sliders and just they were all bent to the side when we were done, and it was just like kind of flickering, and I had to let it dry out. And it's just never been the same. I'm trying to get it like repaired now. I just ordered all the parts for it, but we'll see if that even comes back.
good.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's your favorite pedal then?
It was that.
Oh, that was the one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was hard for me to get rid of and like admit that there was a huge tone drop in it for a long
It
time.
was hard for me to. I left.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah.
Tim, any drum preferences? Are you like hodgepodging stuff together? Do you
No,
have
I'm not the person to talk to about gear in
No?
any respect.
let me also just say I play drums, and I could have like almost zero interest in talking gear about drums. I have never been into gear. I don't like gear. Like
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, gear's always been my low
It's a
point.
rabbit hole.
I don't know.
man.
Yeah.
I-
That's the problem.
Like I play guitar, I play bass, and some other bands, I have, some pedals and stuff, and I have messed around with things, but for whatever reason, it's like I like just keeping things simple, and like whatever I get, I try to just like learn and use it effectively.
I feel the same.
And then once I
hear
get used to something, I'm no good at change.
I hear the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm with you
That's where I'm at.
100%.
Yeah.
I hear that ethos.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I did recently like go like kind of cymbal shopping. I changed up some things. I got some new Zildjian cymbals, but honestly, I couldn't even tell you for sure like the specs on them.
Right?
Do you
No,
get
I
excited about
think
that when you do that, or is that just like, oh, here
I
we
don't
go?
think-
I think it's probably more stress.
I don't.
yeah, right.
That's
right.
so weird.
Well, 'cause you do, man. You go
God,
to
I
the
gotta
store
go
and it's
shopping.
like a wall
Well,
of symbols, and
I
you're
have
like,
to make
well, this one's
decisions.
darker and this one's brighter, and you're just like, just make the sound.
This
I don't
one
care.
wasn't buried in the ground.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
No, usually it's
too-
like, can I afford this?
That's
you know?
what I was
Like,
just gonna say. It's
What's
like
what's like the best thing I can afford for the amount of money I have in my pocket?
I say we're at a
Right.
pretty even playing field though in terms of cost right now between the three of us,
What does that mean?
pedal wise to cymbal wise to
What? How much our stuff costs?
yeah.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't even know how to judge that.
You just don't care.
That's like
It's
that's
very-
not even
I-
apples to oranges. That's like apples to car seats.
Yeah.
sure,
Apples to
yeah,
car
yeah.
seats.
Who,
It's like
who
not
likes
even
car
close.
seats? Yeah.
that it's like funny though too, because if you look at
I thought
you see all this gear, and when you really look at it, like if you looked at my Fender up close, the neck pickup is jammed inside the body. It doesn't even work.
Yeah.
It just wobbles around in there. These things are like these really special, precious things to us, but we're also like not afraid to jam metal rods into them. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
beat them
for
with
sure.
drumsticks, or throw them on the ground, or
Yeah.
throw them out into the crowd and let people ravage them. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's like, who wants to see a completely sterile show?
Right.
I mean,
Boring.
equipment's equipment, and like we enjoy that, but that shouldn't be like.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed like
I like.
watching a band where they're wiping down their necks while they're playing.
No,
and
Yeah,
all that
that's the
stuff.
worst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't care that much. I do care, but I don't care that much.
it's not precious.
yeah, it's not
you
that.
know.
It's not like that.
Your guys' gear layout too on the inside cover. If you buy a copy of the new record, May 6th, you should. Your gear layout on the inside is one of my favorite gear layout pictures I've ever
Oh,
seen.
thank you.
Yeah, right on.
That's a killer
It very
picture,
much
man.
like looks like you guys in the room. I've been in that room, and
Yeah.
it just feels like that.
Yeah.
and
Great.
There's a lot of like love in that. Like your gear very much is representative of like who you guys are. If you guys look at
Yeah.
that picture on the inside of the album, it's like one of my favorite pictures I've seen in a
Awesome.
really long
Right on.
time.
Yeah.
And it like that room, that picture, you guys have the American flag upside down behind you, makes me feel very patriotic in a lot of ways.
Right on.
in a way that it's like, don't let anybody else claim your sense of patriot. Like
Okay.
you are in control of your
Yeah,
own
that's-
sense of
Right
your own
on.
identity of what an American is. You know.
Yeah,
Right,
and like your
right.
whole layout and everything, it's very much you
Yeah.
know, it's an
We-
ethos. You guys got to see it.
I mean,
to believe it.
just to say, I mean, when we came to see that that Halloween show,
yeah.
there was a moment when you guys kicked into Break You, and it was just this like, it was that thing where Luke and I looked at each other just like, oh fuck yeah, you know, because it was like, because everyone was just in it and
Yeah.
like in the zone, and there was this buzz in the air, and then there's the flag and the whole, I mean, just the whole package. I was like, oh my, this is fucking great.
Right
And that's
on.
when we walked out, and I was like, yo, we got to get them on the podcast. We
Right
got to
on.
talk to these guys.
Nice.
Like, we
Oh,
got to
cool.
get to know
Oh,
these
that's cool,
guys.
man.
Like,
Thank
Right
you.
on.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
Also, big ups to Emily for taking
Yeah,
that
yeah.
photo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was gonna originally be the back
back
cover,
cover.
and it just didn't fit.
As a
but we were
tribute
like,
to Harvest.
yeah,
Mm.
and
Okay, yeah. I
we
see
were like,
that.
it has to
Name
go in
drop.
there somewhere. It just
Yeah.
has to be the insert.
Neil's the man.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that picture does look very good. She's very good at what she
I
does.
think you're
Yeah.
right though. I think it does like. It's a perfect representation of us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, just going down to like the small details of like, there's a guitar on the ground.
Right.
It's not precious.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
The
There's-
Modelo knocked over.
There's a
Yeah.
knocked over Modelo. The flag's upside down.
Yeah.
Karen Carpenter's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
I
know.
was wondering who that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Karen.
Karen.
Oh, Karen. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great drummer.
Yeah,
Great drummer, too.
phenomenal. Phenomenal drummer. I want to talk a little bit about the album itself. if we could. So, you know, we were fortunate in the way where we kind of saw you guys switching up the set list a little bit from time to time and kind of experimenting with things, you know, like we'd come out and like you drop one song and you'd play a different song and all that, and then to see it sort of as a realized thing. What does the writing process actually look like? If not to, you know, not to get, we don't have to get too deep unless you guys want to, but
No.
you know what I mean? Is it lyrics first? Is it melody first?
No,
is it
lyrics
one
never
person?
first.
Lyrics never
Especially,
first? Good man.
I wanted to ask too, 3 guitars in there too. Like, how's that getting arranged?
Yeah,
when
right,
you're
right.
going for it?
Because
That's basic. I think that's riff first. That's usually comes from Mike. I mean,
Yeah.
usually, but anybody can really throw ideas
Yeah.
at the table.
I think nowadays it's much more communal
yeah,
as it wasn't before. It was more like, I got these realized songs.
right.
I'm not going to tell you what to play, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But they're full
but
arranged.
they're arranged,
Right.
and you can play over them.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. That sounds so shitty.
That's right.
No, but I mean, it's like if you have the vision, it's, you know,
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
allowed to
Yeah.
play over them
for
if you-
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
yeah.
nowadays, I purposely sort of don't come in fully realized
Mm.
and maybe bring 1 or 2 riffs, or like an A and B, and we just jam
Yeah,
until it's a song.
Yeah.
nice.
Like,
Yeah.
All My Friends, I think it's called on the record.
Yeah,
We have all these code names. I don't even
Yeah.
know what they're. I don't even really know.
We've
what they're
also
called.
been calling your guys' songs, and we don't know what they were called forever.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
oh no, the one with the noise, and we're
Yeah.
like,
So
that's
we-
every one of them. What are you
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about? You
We've
know?
had our own like secret codes for all of them as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what we had for a long time. We were
Right.
like, we got to name these songs. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what we're talking about.
But if you look at the set list, it's still all the code names.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that song, All My Friends.
Friends.
Is that?
Yeah. That's what it is.
The code name for that is Rounds,
Yeah.
because we going around, you know.
Yep.
But anyway, that just was like, hey, I got this idea. It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
and we did it, and we played it 2 days later
yeah.
out at
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah.
Can
They
I just
came
say
together in one session, you know, like
Yeah.
one band rehearsal time.
that song? When I watched you guys play that song at the Oasis, I audibly laughed because I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it, because I was like, this could go so bad.
Yeah.
But they fucking stuck the landing.
Yeah,
They
thanks.
stuck the landing, and I was
Yes.
like, I can't even believe that they're doing this right now, especially
Yeah.
after you do the verse and everything just comes in hot noise.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, how are they doing this right now? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah,
it was
dude.
so like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I felt similarly. Like when we were when
You
you
said that
you
every
brought
practice.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
brought the idea, and then you know I was like, I don't get how this is gonna actually work or be a thing. And then by the end of the session, like everybody had kicked in ideas, and all of a sudden there was an arrangement to it
Yep.
that made some sense to me.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, this is actually now, yeah, it's a song with.
It's a song with no notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no-
Well,
And
there's
it's one of
tons
our
of notes.
tightest songs
Yeah, right.
too.
But
from the guitars, there's no key
there's no key.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or chords
No
at all.
chords.
no, there's no chords.
Yeah, no. But I will say, too,
That's fun.
you know, credit to Lee, man, because
Lee.
that dude
Yeah.
is holding
Oh,
it
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Oh,
that was another
lovely.
thing. When we walked out of that, especially the Halloween show, too, I was like, yo, man, Lee was fucking
Yeah.
holding
Lee-
it
Lee
down.
Lee.
Dude.
Oh, my
Lee
God, man.
Man, you're the
Man.
best.
Dude, he just, holy shit. I was
Piss
like,
boy.
yo, that
Yo,
guy is
I'll
no
be honest,
joke.
Lee, as I like you said, he was like the kind of recording maestro for many years for the Famstone, and that was kind of how I knew him. I didn't even know of him as a bass player necessarily,
Right.
you know, like I hadn't seen him play bass, you know. And so then playing with the band, I was like, oh, okay, like Lee's gonna play bass. Yeah, like he probably knows what he's doing. And then every practice I'd be like, dang, Lee's doing some cool shit over here.
Yeah,
you know?
right, yeah.
And now he's like my favorite bass player.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
awesome.
he's incredible, man. Holy shit.
he's definitely like
Lehman.
one of our favorite bass players, and you guys are like really like, I really like that, especially that song. A lot of the stuff on the album is like really bass line heavy.
Yeah.
and you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like doing your guitar wielding, like you know,
Yeah, kind of floating above.
over
Right,
it.
yeah.
Was that like kind of something you wanted to do, where it was like more like that, or is it just naturally like who you guys were when you got in the room together?
Yeah, I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
There wasn't any plan to be like, Lee's gonna carry all these songs, and we're just gonna do whatever the hell we want, you know.
But for
Just going back to the communal songwriting, like you're saying, is happening. You know, he'll bring in a riff, but then it's like we got that first riff, we jam, and then it could be anybody has the next thing. Like
Right.
sometimes he's got an idea,
Yep.
sometimes Lee's got the riff, sometimes Cam's got an idea, or I have a rhythmic thing or whatever.
And that's sometimes in the moment. That's not like some. Oh, we're gonna stitch these 2 riffs that were pre-planned. That's like kind of in the
Right.
moment too.
Right.
Sometimes.
We'll
Yeah,
jam and be like,
Yeah.
oh man, that was pretty radical.
What if we do
What were
this?
you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
And a lot of times it's like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know.
It's just playing, man.
Yeah.
You know.
But then I think that ends up being the full sound is a result of the songwriting process that
Yeah.
just ended up happening. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't really planned ahead of time. You
And
know?
then there's also songs that we practice and put together and have played out that we dropped.
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
4 or
because when we
5 at
started
this
playing
point.
together,
Yep.
we didn't have any of these songs that are on the record yet, so we played all the tunes that we were playing kind of right before the COVID times with a
Right.
different lineup of musicians.
Yeah.
It was kind of just me and you with the other
Other people.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then, so we learned all those songs together and had a set to play. But then it was kind of like every week or every couple of weeks there'd be a new song, and that would poke into the set list, and something else would drop out. And
Yeah.
Eventually-
And that happened pretty quickly.
yeah, I mean, there was a period of time where it was like every week a new song would happen.
Yeah.
Like every time we got together, it'd be one session, there'd be another one of these songs that's on the record.
We
you know?
started writing the new stuff in March of last year,
Yeah.
and then we went on tour, and then we came back and recorded it in a weekend.
Yeah.
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 So that
sounds
was March to November, December, first week of December.
Yep. We do have sort of a bad habit of just totally abandoning songs. Older
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Like, I have no interest in playing them anymore.
Yeah.
Stooges style, like only
Sure.
whenever you're playing that, like that's
Yeah,
the
right.
album. Like
Exactly.
He's not
Yeah.
speaking for everybody. I'm always trying to pitch.
you're trying to pepper some old
Yeah.
stuff back
yeah,
up.
I'm always like
Yeah,
advocating
yeah.
for some old stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at least stuff that wasn't like a stalwart in the stuff that we were playing.
Mm.
Because when we first started playing, it was like immediately playing shows and immediately playing that set list all the time.
Yeah.
So once we started getting new songs, I mean, I love those old songs, but it was getting like, I was just getting more excited to write new stuff as
Totally.
opposed to.
And I think that's
Yeah, for sure.
what it is right now.
Yeah.
Because we're already working on a crazy amount of other new stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's coming along just as quick as this one did.
Yeah.
You know, which is super exciting.
So here's the kind of: are you guys gonna release this album? Are you guys gonna play this album a little bit more to like kind of promote it and do that, or are you guys like releasing this and being like, that's what we did, and then moving forward from there? Because
Sorta like
these are questions I've been thinking about.
Sort of like a Time Fades Away
Okay.
Neil thing where he released Harvest. And they're like, all right, you got to go on tour on Harvest. And he was like, okay. And then he got an electric band and played all these like really gnarly, fucking sad, depressing, hashy, drunk songs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. I think we'll play this for a little bit longer. I think we...
It'll probably happen like before, though.
Yeah.
Because we already got
Yeah.
new tunes coming, and I think as soon as they're ready, we're gonna want to pepper them into the set live. You know, I don't see us being very good at waiting to like play
No.
a song. You know, once it feels ready, we're probably gonna start playing it live.
Yep.
And then so you might see some of the same things happening.
I think
I would
that's
guess,
probably how it's
like
gonna go.
the new
Yeah.
stuff will keep coming in. Some of the other stuff will get less and less until we record a whole new thing again, and then we'll be there.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm super glad you guys did record this, because for the first time I did hear the set at the Oasis, I was like, if they don't record that and I can't hear that again, I'm gonna be really sad.
Yeah.
So I saw your Strange Brew.
Yeah.
I
Yo, yeah,
recorded
Strange
the
Brew
set
was-
on
yeah.
my phone, so
Oh,
I would
sweet.
just have like a copy of it for myself.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow,
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
And since you said like you were hoping that somebody would like, you're gonna Grateful Dead, the Family Stone, like that's the
Yeah.
the blueprint. I've been like recording you guys at every single show on my phone.
Oh, right.
I just
Oh,
like I'm
nice.
like, oh, I want to hear what it sounds like, and you guys are doing guitar, like improvising over
Yeah.
over stuff, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always
Well-
different and interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because now we've caught quite a few of you guys' shows, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's that thing where like we'll catch you guys on a weekend, and then like Monday, because Luke and I, we work together, so we'll be
Yep.
driving into work, And I'll be like, yo, you got that? Oh, yeah, I got it. Cool. All right, so we'll throw it on, and we'll be like, oh, yeah, this version of this is really, really killer on this. And the version from this show was fucking awesome, and the version from this.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
like, it
That's
is,
crazy.
it's funny that you say that, because it is very reminiscent of Grateful Dead, because you
Right.
talk to Deadheads, and
That's
they're just like, man, Cornell 77,
Dude.
when they
Yeah,
played,
yeah.
ba 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 ba. You know what I
could
mean?
talk to you.
Yeah.
Valentine's
Dude, that's the
Day.
thing, though. You know, you're
Valentine's
like,
Day.
70
1970.
70.
70.
1970.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the peak for Slyne.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm a Europe 72 guy. If I'm going to pick like a,
for
press
sure.
to wax, like this is the live
Yeah.
thing, that the version of Morning Dew. Anyway,
Oh
we'll
my
be here
God.
for another hour.
That's the tune that, somebody was like, I don't actually, I'm not going to go down this road.
Yeah,
But
because we'll be here.
We'll be here a while.
I wanted to touch too on just like, so lyrically then, are you the principal lyric writer? Is
Yeah.
that's kind of the designation there?
yeah, so most of the time it's just like poems
Yeah.
that I either take a line out of and then build a new thing, or it's a whole poem, or it's like 6 different poems.
Yeah.
This record feels a little different though, because I think there's like songs that have subject matter,
For sure.
or like All My Friends is sort of about New London
Yeah.
and like drug addicts
Yeah.
and homeless people, and so there's some sort of narrative there. It's
Yeah.
not just this like babbling poetry thing, or,
Yeah.
obviously Thoughts and Prayers, Don't Bring Dead Kids Back. It's about kids getting shot with
Yeah.
unnecessarily with fucking guns in schools and shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I think I was like a little bit more direct on this record than I have been on other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly it's just kind of like piecing things together, and
Yeah.
I don't like singing
Oh, I'm right there with you,
that
man.
much.
I hate singing. That's my least favorite thing to do. And then they're always just
Yeah.
like, all right, Mike, you're going to sing. And I'm like, God damn it. I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking sing again.
Right, you gotta do
you
that
get
part.
that. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I've mentioned this song before, but the song Break You, that's my favorite song
Sure.
by you guys. That's, But there is this thing, man, where it was like, I remember seeing you guys, and I think it was at the Oasis show when you played that tune. And like that opening, like, please don't let them break you. It elicited such an emotional reaction. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was the thing where I was like, oh shit, they're serious. Like
Right.
that was the thing. And I
that's-
think these lyrics I think they'll age very nicely. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
sure.
think they'll stand the test of time in that
They're
sense.
pretty
you know?
evergreen, I'd say, because of, it's just the right amount of vagueness for things that are very serious.
That was a great phrase. I picked that up too, Tim.
Yeah,
evergreen.
they're
was a
evergreen?
Beautiful phrase.
That was nice.
That song is,
Maybe you should be writing the
Sort of.
poetry.
believe it or not, like a love letter to my partner.
Yeah.
I guess it's not a traditional love letter, but
But it's real, man.
she
It's
got
real.
into like a job in the political world,
Mm.
and I just please don't let them break you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
keep what you believe,
Yeah.
and don't looking out.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
For sure.
And then it's like talks about fucking America
Yeah.
and what's wrong.
Yeah. And it's kind of like it's a beautiful thing, but also kind of this sort of tragic thing in the
Yeah.
way that's like, I'll say it like this. I fear that a lot of those things will still be relevant in 20 to 30 to
Yeah.
40
Right.
years' time. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? It's almost like you want society to prove these
Yeah.
lyrics wrong,
Yes.
but you have
Sure.
this fear that it's going to be like, oh, it might just be like this forever.
Yeah.
This sort of tragic
It's a harsh reality.
kind of, reality of,
Yeah.
of what
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think somebody did say to me that this record feels angry,
Mm.
and I think it might be
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
more than
Comparatively.
normal.
Yeah, I hear that. But I will say that what I like about it is, and we review albums all the time and stuff on the podcast, and it's like, I think the use of dynamics is something very important. And I think that's something that you guys execute really, really well on this record, because you have the loud, the soft, you have the push, the pull.
Yeah.
You have moments where it's like a sound bath, and other moments where it's like just this sort of, you're getting rocked back and forth,
Sure.
musically and stuff like that. And that's like,
Sure.
is that something that's like, I would imagine the way you guys have been talking about how songs are written and stuff. You know, that stuff just kind of happens organically, or you go, oh, you know what, this song could use a little, kind of like a little
nicer break in here.
Yeah, a little break here.
Organically.
I think it.
I mean,
pretty organically.
let's face it, we are like children of the '90s and listen to Nirvana and the Pixies,
right,
and Sonic Youth, and like those guys are the masters of that shit, you know. And I think it's just so far down in our DNA of how songs are written that it's almost like it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
You know? So
I also think we'll like bring a riff to the table, start playing it, figure out where everybody wants to be or getting there, and we will beat that thing to death. We will play it for 25 minutes and then be like, okay, we got. How long are we into this song now? Minute and a half.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna go now?
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to trim this down a little bit, but we should continue on this feeling. But not exactly this riff, not exactly this feeling. Maybe something more dynamic coming out of this.
But I guess there also is like some of like the really harsh cuts are probably planned, or like we should just drop it right here or something.
Right. Yeah, because there's cool like time signature things that you guys do as well. You know what I mean?
Slyne time, yeah.
Dude, but it's great. You know. Also, just for the record,
just because I don't know how to play guitar properly.
We're gonna figure out what Coltrane riff you ripped off. But it's just weird. Literally, I got in the car the other morning and Luke's listening to Coltrane. He's like, I'm gonna find this goddamn riff. If it's the death of me, I'm gonna figure out which one it is.
Nobody's gotten it.
It's on Skyline, right? That's the song I think it's on.
Nope.
No, it's what song is it? And I know it, but I can't think of it. Because I
record,
don't have all the names
Oh,
down.
Skyline, yeah,
on the record.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, which
That's not
part
the
of that
code
song?
name.
Yeah, that's not the
part
code
of that
name.
Song is the
okay.
is
I'll
the
tell you the
Coltrane
part.
riff. If we can get a hint, just to throw us
it's
a
the
bone.
whole beginning, pretty much.
Okay, okay.
Like the big hit, and then the Farrell bit, and then even that big old riff.
Yeah.
My initial guess before we leave was Reflections, the second song off Love Supreme.
Nope.
That was my second.
Damn.
I'll give you a hint though. It was recorded before Love Supreme.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We'll be
do
back
some,
with you.
Yeah,
And
we'll be back.
it was recorded after my favorite things.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So
That
that'll
gives
help
us
us
a
narrow it
timeline.
down a little
We
bit.
just whittled it down pretty.
I whittled it down
pretty heavy.
To be fair, we've been trying to figure
To
this
be
out
fair.
since that show that we saw in Providence. Because you were like, because I was wearing that Blue Note shirt, and you're like, oh hey man, see if you can figure out which Coltrane one we ripped.
Right.
And then ever since then, me and Luke have just been, man, what
Yeah,
song
yeah.
is it? I can't. It's like because I love Coltrane, you know,
Right.
I'm like a
Fun.
Coltrane
That's
guy,
great.
so I'm like, shit, what is it? What is it? You know?
Yeah. He's just been like a super influence in my life.
Yeah.
For the last few years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, I like abandoned rock and roll for a long time.
Yeah.
For the last couple years, and just like went down that road of John and Alice and Pharoah Sanders and Sonny Sharrock and just all these like crazy jazz people, you know.
Yeah, we have what is it, Live at the Village Vanguard Volume 2. Luke got that for me one year.
Oh, you're getting hot.
Let me tell you,
Oh,
I
getting hot.
He got it for me. I wasn't steeped in enough, and I listened to it. I was like, man, I don't know if I could do this. You know, I can do it now, but then I'm like, this might be too much for me. I don't know, man. It's giving me anxiety.
It's like I think it's Coltrane, Alice, McCoy Tyner.
Yeah, and they're all standing outside the
Pharoah
front. Yeah.
Sanders is
Oh
on it.
yeah. Yep.
And plays bass. I can't remember. Yeah, whatever. That's
Yeah.
a bad record though. But another hint.
Oh.
Getting hot.
Oh,
Getting like steaming hot.
Okay.
gotta check out Volume 1.
Oh.
Maybe that's where it's
Maybe.
There you go.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the
hell
show.
yeah.
We
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
You know, we love
Thank
you guys'
you.
music and your band, and we
Right
look
on.
forward to everything in the future with you guys.
Yeah.
Get is Heaven Sweet. Go to the Warehouse 3 show on May 6th.
Yes.
Check
May
out the
6th.
album.
Yes, the album will be available on all streaming platforms and physical media also on May 6th.
Yeah. Well,
Correct?
already.
Well,
But yeah.
yeah. I didn't want to, just in case.
Somebody leaked it. Somebody leaked it.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. We knew it was on there.
We knew it was on there, but I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
listen, man, if they want to talk about it, they'll talk about it. So we didn't say anything. But
Right.
Yeah. But great album, guys.
Thank you
again
I
so
just
much.
I gotta say one thing. Big up and big love to Josh and Jeff.
Hell yeah.
We miss you.
Josh.
That's it.
All right.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Yeah.
It's been Get in the Garage.
Thank
you guys
boys.
you guys are back. Welcome back anytime.
Hell yeah.
Anytime.
Thank
This
you.
is a home
Thank
for
you.
you guys.
Super
You know.
fun. You guys are great.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.